All right, so today we're on day 2 of our unit learning about the solar system. So yesterday we watched a video all about the solar system, our planet, the other planets. So what I want you to do now is share 3 interesting facts that you remember from the video yesterday. You can do that with your shoulder partner. Go ahead. Do you want to share your facts with me?
Yes.
What was one fact you learned from that video yesterday about the solar system?
The solar system is very large.
Okay, our solar system is large. Do you know the name of our solar system by chance? It's like it goes after like a candy bar.
Milky Way.
The Milky Way, good job. That is the name of our solar system. Beautiful job. Do you also have another fact to share that you learned from the video yesterday? Maybe about how many planets we have in our solar system? Do you remember how many planets are in our solar system?
Was it 7?
You're very close. Good job. We actually have 8 planets in our solar system. Does anyone remember the name of all the planets? Well, we'll go over it today. Don't worry. Can you share a 3rd interesting fact about the solar system with me? From that video yesterday and that we did in class.
I do know that from the video that we watched yesterday,
Yes.
the solar system, well, based on the video, we only have one solar system.
We are in that solar system, correct? As the planets orbit around what?
The sun.
The sun. And is the sun a planet?
No.
What is the sun to us?
A star.
The sun is a star. Good job. So we're going to do some more work on this today. Thank you for sharing those 3 interesting ideas or facts that you remember from yesterday's video. Great job. So as we start today, we are going to be working on an article today. Here's our article. We're going to be reading this together. We're going to be working on our listening and reading skills today, okay? After that, we're going to have an activity. It has 4 written response questions, okay? So you're going to be following COPS, which is our grammar that we follow, and you're going to be answering those 4 questions that we are going to read about in the video. In this article, sorry. And we also are going to be going over and doing a vocabulary activity, okay?
Okay.
All right. So before we begin, I just want us to quickly, individually, and silently, you are going to skim through the story on your own. And as you do that, you can just look through it, see if there's anything you like. And as you skim through this, what I would like you to do is to circle or highlight any words that you are going to be unfamiliar with, okay? So, if you would like to highlight, you may highlight words as you go through, okay? Any words you are unfamiliar with. So you're going to go ahead and start at the beginning. Everyone should have our ReadWorks article ready. And I want you just to quickly skim through, look for any words you're unfamiliar with, and then we'll go. So I'll give you about a few minutes to go ahead and do that, okay? Skim through. There are some big words we're going to be learning about today. And as you look through the story, you see a lot of images and pictures, which are very neat to look at. All right. You can give me a thumbs up whenever you're done. All right, beautiful. So our ReadWorks article today is called In Pictures Beyond Planet Earth. So that is going to be what we're reading today. It is by Mike Sahara. All right. So as we read today, I'm going to read the first few paragraphs, and then we're going to take turns reading. And we're going to take turns looking at the pictures in the story because there are a lot of beautiful pictures of our solar system here, okay? So, before we actually start reading, we are going to go ahead and look at our vocabulary words. So you can go ahead and find our vocabulary page there. Go ahead and find that vocabulary page. All right here. Good job, everyone's on our vocabulary page. So let's go over our vocabulary words. We have detect, surface, thrive, and also one that's not included is astrophysicist. Now I'm going to read these words one more time, and I would love for you all to repeat the words after me. Detect, surface, thrive, and astrophysicist. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to read that first vocabulary word and the definition. So detect is a verb here in this story. The definition is to discover or notice. Examples of this are, I detected anger in her voice. I detected the smell of smoke and discovered the pie was burning. All right, the forms can be detected, detecting, or detects. All right, surface, this is a noun. The definition is the outside limit or top layer of something. So you can see that there is the surface of our table we're working at, right?
Yeah.
The surface is glass, okay? The most of the Earth's surface is covered by water. That's true. Do you know how much of our world is covered by water? The percentage?
Yeah.
How much? Share with us.
75%.
Yeah, about 75, 76%. That's a lot of water, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, and our other vocabulary word is thrive. It is a verb. Its definition is to grow strong and healthy. This plant thrives in the shade. So to thrive means to grow and become a better version, okay? So we are thriving this year in the school year, okay? And our last vocab word that we're going to look at is astrophysicist. Do we know what an astrophysicist by chance is?
No.
No. So an astrophysicist is a scientist who studies the space and how things work, okay? So that's something that we're going to learn about. Our author, Mike Sahara, is actually going to be an astrophysicist. So we're going to learn about that as well, okay? So before we read, we are going to do a vocabulary activity. Very quick, and it's about how well you know these vocab words we're going to see in the text. So if we look right here, it says before you start reading. It says here are the vocabulary words that you will see in this reading. Let's see how well you already know them. Check the box that shows how well you know each word. It's okay if you don't know them yet. This is not graded. So I want you to take your time. You have the three words here, because astrophysicist is not included, but it's detect, surface, and thrive. You're going to just check a box. If you don't know it, you have heard of it but not sure its meaning, know something about that word and its meaning, or you know it well. So go ahead and take that time to check these boxes real fast, okay? This is a before we read activity. All right, just give me a thumbs up when you are ready. Or you can put your hand on your head when you are ready. All right, great. Are you ready to start reading today?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to start reading, then we will take turns reading, okay?
Okay.
All right, so please make sure we are following along. I want us all right now to point at the title. Please point at that title for me. Point at that title. Tobias, read that title for me.
And pictures beyond planet Earth.
All right. So there's this little subtitle right there, and it says, this text is provided by the courtesy of OLOGY, the American Museum of Natural History's website for kids. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take it away. I'm going to read that first page for us. What would it be like to travel across the solar system and explore space? Hi, I'm Mike Sahara, an astrophysicist at the American Museum of Natural History. Let's take a look at some of the places that humans might go someday and the questions that scientists are asking. So let's go ahead and turn to that next page. All right. Our closest neighbor is the moon. Did you know that only 12 people have ever set foot on its near black powdery surface? Were you aware of that?
Yes, I have heard of it.
You did know that there's only 12 people that have been to the moon so far?
Yes.
Wow.
And one chimpanzee.
Oh, okay. No one has been to the moon since 1972. But today, many scientists want to send people and robots back there. What do you think it would be like to live and work on the moon? So we see that little picture there. This article is going to have a lot of pictures. There is a little, what is that called? Subtext next to the picture. And it says, the solar system is made up of a star and everything that travels around it. So what is our star in our solar system called?
The sun.
The sun, beautiful. Solar means of the sun. In our solar system, the sun is orbited by the terrestrial planets Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, the gas planets, which are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. But is Pluto a planet anymore?
No.
No, it is not. And the ring of comets known as the Kuiper Belt. Its outer edge is a spherical cloud of comets called the Oort cloud. So we can see there in that little picture right here, this is our orbit. But we know that Pluto is no longer a planet. It was taken away when, it was taken away when Miss Jensen was very young. All right, let's go ahead and turn to that next page. Turn to that next page for me. All right here. Go ahead and read this area for me, Tobias.
When and if humans return to the moon, they might want to set up a base camp. Astronauts could eat, sleep, bathe, and work in expendable spacecraft like this one.
Nice. And can you read the text under the picture for me as well? Pictures of the moon there. Meteorites. Beautiful.
Meteorites.
Good job.
And asteroids have
Bombarded, yes.
the moon for billions of years, leaving deep craters
Yep.
of its surface without the forces of weather to remove them. The craters act as a record of all these impacts. Many of these craters and mountains can be seen with the naked eye.
Nice.
In fact, some people that these features resemble a man's face. What do you see when you look at the moon?
So when you look at the moon, do you see all those different colored spots?
Yeah.
So that are the marks of the craters that have hit the moon. So we can see that with our own eye. We don't need a telescope to see that, because when you look at the moon, you can see that there are different colored spots. And you can also see that in these images right here. We see all those little spots around the moon. That's craters.
Whoa.
All right, go ahead and turn the page. You can go ahead and read that as well.
The moon would be a great place to do astronomy. There is no atmosphere to block the view. Scientists can set up a liquid mirror telescope that could detect light from the earliest days of the universe.
Interesting. So, our author, Mike Sahara, is saying that they could set up a liquid mirror telescope that could detect lights from the earliest days of the universe. Isn't that so interesting?
Yeah.
All right. On our next page is actually going to be a picture of Mike Sahara. It says, on a clear night, Mike Sahara sees more than just beautiful twinkling of the stars when he gazes at the sky. Mike is an astrophysicist and studies stars' life cycles at the American Museum of Natural History. He often uses the Hubble Space Telescope and other large telescopes on Earth to make these observations. All right, let's go ahead and turn to that next page for me. All right, scientists are also working on an idea of a lunar elevator. Secured to a cable from the space station to the moon, it would transport goods and people between Earth and moon. So imagine having an elevator that just shoots right up to the moon. Wouldn't that be crazy to have?
That'd be insane.
Yeah, so let's read this. Look at this picture right here. We're gonna read about that. Most reflecting telescopes use glass mirrors to focus light from faraway objects, such as stars and galaxies. And a liquid mirror telescope, which is the one we just read about, This mirror is a pool of shiny liquid instead of glass. Someday scientists hope to build a huge liquid mirror telescope at the moon's south pole. Since there's no atmosphere to blur the view, astronomers could see clearer and further away from the Earth. So, on Earth we can only see out, right?
Yeah.
So on the moon they're able to see other areas that we are not able to see. Okay, let's turn our page. We just have a picture of what they think the lunar elevator would be like. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and turn that page for me. And you can go ahead and read this little thing right here, that paragraph for me.
Orbiting beyond the moon is an asteroid named
Itokawa.
Itokawa.
Good job.
This space rock is huge. It's longer than 50 school buses.
Wow.
Itokawa is one of more than 7,000 near-Earth asteroids in our solar system.
Interesting. And go ahead and read that text under that image for me.
Can humans visit these space rocks? It's definitely a possibility.
Oh, we're on right here. Read this
Oh,
one for me.
okay.
Thank you.
The Earth is our home so far. It's the only place that we know of that has life.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere you go,
Everywhere you look, yep.
on Earth, there is life. This is possible because Earth has lots of water. It's also just the right distance from the sun. Some people call Earth,
The Goldilocks planet.
wow, it's not too hot like Venus. It's not too cold like Mars. It's just right.
So that's interesting because we have started to explore Mars, and we're going to learn about that later this week. All right, and you can go ahead and read the next paragraph on the next page.
Okay. Can humans visit these space rocks is definitely a possibility. Learning more about asteroids could help scientists learn to deflect one that get too close to Earth.
All right.
Sorry, my glasses broke the other day playing recess.
Oh, that's okay, no problem. All right, next stop, Mars. Today, this red planet is cold and dry, but millions of tons of liquid water once flowed on its surface. So surface is our vocab word, okay? So it's flowed on top of Mars. Could life have thrived there? Scientists want to find out. And on that next page, we see a picture of Mars.
I like a bowling ball.
Yeah, it looks really neat, huh? All right, NASA's sending the Curiosity rover to Mars. This robot is like a roving science lab. It can pick up samples and test them on board. And it can fire lasers at rocks to see what they're made of. So it's a pretty cool robot, right? It's got some neat tricks it can do. Shoot lasers. Interesting. Let's look at that picture of Mars. I'm going to read that text under it, okay? Mars is often called the red planet. It is red because the surface is covered with rusted particles of iron. Like the Earth, Mars has polar ice caps, mountains, craters, plains, canyons, and summer and winter seasons. Scientists think that liquid water once flowed on its surface of Mars when it was warmer, but today there are no signs of life or water on Mars's rocky surface. All right, next we see the picture of NASA. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration, which is NASA, runs the space program. But that's just part of what they do. Thousands of scientists conduct research in fields like aeronautics, space exploration, earth science, and biology. NASA's research centers around the country are constantly expanding what we know about our planet and the universe around us. And we see the picture of the robot there. If there's life on any other planet in our solar system, it's probably on Mars. Scientists have sent orbiters, landers, and rovers to the red planet in search of clues of life. The Curiosity rover is the latest and most advanced step in this quest. The 1-ton science lab will land on Mars inside Gale Crater. Using scientific instruments, the car-sized rover will examine the crater for signs of past or present life. Someday, humans might go to Mars too. The Nautilus X spacecraft could carry a crew of 9 on a 2-year voyage, which is long enough to reach Mars. So we learned about the Curiosity rover just now, and that is the size of a car. And it is like an on-site research thing. It can take things from Mars, and it can study it there. All right. You want to go ahead and read that next paragraph for me, Tobias?
Yeah.
Okay.
Astronauts will sleep in spinning compartments. As it spins, passengers are pushed against outer walls. The artificial gravity will help prevent bone loss and other health problems.
Interesting. Go ahead and read that text under that picture.
Okay. Gravity is the force of attraction between all objects in the universe. Objects with more mass have greater gravitational pull than objects with less mass gravity.
Good. Gravity keeps Earth and the planets orbiting around the sun.
Instead of floating off into space, what would the universe be like without gravity?
That's a very interesting question. You can go ahead and read that next paragraph.
Exercise machines will help astronauts keep their muscles and bones strong. Solid waste from toilets could be used as compost for plants.
Compost for plants, yep.
The plants, in turn, will provide food and oxygen.
Good. Mars' surface is cold and barren, but the ingredients for a warm, wet, fertile environment are all there. They're just frozen underground. Could we turn Mars into a livable planet? Some scientists think so. Transforming Mars into an Earth-like planet would take hundreds or even thousands of years, and it would be very expensive. But we could learn a lot about how climates and ecosystems work. All right, next page. All right, here we see further out, our solar system is in the giant planet Jupiter. Did you know that it has at least 50 moons? How many moons do we have on Earth?
1.
We have 1. Jupiter has 50 moons. That is crazy. One of the moons is the ice-covered Europa. So we see in this picture here, we see Jupiter and the moons. We see Jupiter here as well. It says, it's fitting that the largest planet in our solar system is named Jupiter, the supreme king of all planets. Jupiter is so big that 1,300 Earths could fit inside the planetary monster. Jupiter and its kingdom of 17 moons are often pounded by meteorites. More than 60 moons orbit Jupiter. One of these moons is Europa. It is especially intriguing to scientists. Miles below its cracked icy surface lies a deep saltwater ocean. Future missions to Europa will investigate these oceans for sign of life. If life exists, what kinds of organisms could survive in such a cold, dark place? To answer this question, scientists look to some of the most extreme environments on Earth. So you want to go ahead and read that last paragraph for me, Tobias.
Scientists think there may be deep saltwater oceans beneath Europa's icy surface. On Earth, life exists wherever there is water. Is the same true on this moon? Future missions may find out.
All right. So good job. So we have finished reading our article, and I'm going to ask you a few questions. Explain the job of the Curiosity rover. Do you remember, what is the job of the Curiosity rover?
The Curiosity rover it's just like a camera for outer space.
Okay.
Keep us up to date.
Let's look at this page right here. Go ahead and read that paragraph for us again.
NASA is sending the Curiosity rover to Mars. This robot is like a roving science lab. It can pick up samples and test them on board. And it can fire a laser at rocks to see what they're made of.
So the Curiosity rover's job is to simply discover what's going on at Mars, right? The planet Mars.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you compare pair, can you classify one similarity between Earth and Mars?
Earth and Mars.
We have 4 of this, but they have 2. What is it called? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
Okay, so Mars has 2 seasons, and that's similar to Earth, because how many seasons do we have on Earth?
4.
4. Do you remember what the seasons were that Mars has? Summer and winter. Good job. All right, so now we are going to complete the independent activity. So let's go ahead and flip to our activity. Here we go. There are 4 questions here. This is going to be a grade, okay? So I'm going to read the questions, and then after I'm done reading, you may start. You can, of course, you can turn back in your article and help you find these answers, okay? So remember to use your article if you feel lost or confused. It can help you answer those questions. So question 1 says, this text describes many planets and places in space. What is one place in space that scientists today want to send people and robots to? Question 2 says, what would be one goal of sending humans and robots to planet Mars? And then it says, support your answer with evidence from the text. So you're going to have to turn back in the text and find the page or the sentences that can help you answer that question. Question 3 says, what is the main idea of this text? And question 4 says, how might sending people or robots to places in outer space help scientists learn about Earth? And this also says, support your answers with evidence from the text. You're going to have 15 minutes to do this, so go ahead and start that now. All right, beautiful job. Okay. So now, we are all done today. We did a fabulous job reading and listening and being patient of others taking turns. We also did a good job answering our higher order thinking questions as well. All right. So now we can close out. Tomorrow we're